Genesis 3:22 through 24. And the Lord God said, Behold, man is become one like us, to know good and evil, and know lest he put forth from his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever. So we as people know good and evil. We have a conscience. The problem is, unlike God, who can balance and do all good, we know evil and are often prone to making those selfish decisions. Rather be committed to the Lord by good, through doing good. And the fact is, in the garden, they knew good because they knew God. But what they did by eating this fruit is they opened themselves up to evil. Which means at this point, then they could choose whether to do good or not. Here's the problem. They could live forever in that fallen state by eating the tree of life. Ideally, eternally fallen state, separated from God. Hell on earth. So God was sparing that so that they could be redeemed to live forever in a salvation state, heaven. Therefore the Lord God sent him forth from the garden to till the ground from whence he had been made. This was the intent of man, to till the ground, to work the ground to begin with. But it's different now because it's part of the fall. He's going to have to work harder. So he drove out the man, and he placed at the east of the garden cherubims, and a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. Now, people have been searching for this over history. I don't believe the garden will ever be found, and if it does, this angel's not going to let them get there. The tree of life. What's interesting here is they move eastward part of that garden. They don't completely move out of the garden, according to some text, from what I understand. They just move away from the tree. The angels to protect the way to the tree. It doesn't remove them, protect them from the garden, but because the paradise is lost, because their relationship with God has changed, there's really no particular point for them to go back to the garden. It isn't like God's flourishing, hanging out in the garden now that man's not there. But sometimes we want to get that paradise back. And that's the reason why he removed them from the garden. Because truth is, if we're choosing a state without God, to live in it forever, that's hell.